Why micromanagement is quietly destroying your leadership and how to stop it using crisis-tested principles. Leaders, please stop micromanaging. As a leader or business owner, if you don't want to kill your business, then stop it. After coaching thousands of leaders and leaders of leaders, I've seen this over and over again. Micromanagement is one of the biggest mistakes you can make. Here's why. Micromanagement means trying to control everything, being involved in every little step your team takes. Here's what that leads to. You being completely overwhelmed and feeling stressed out. Do you actually want to come home too drained to even be present with your family? At work, you and your team lacking the agility needed to respond to changing market conditions and forces? And in the competitive job market and importance of retaining your top talent, do you want to push your top performers out the door? Wreck your team's trust? Micromanagement doesn't just hurt your team, it's quietly or loudly destroying your leadership. I learned this the brutal way when I was leading a $34 million project that was across the country, literally coast to coast. 500 folks. I was checking in on my team every few hours to know what was going on and try to keep control and tabs on everything, reviewing every decision and making the decisions for the team. I was feeling so stressed out and out of control, and the more I felt like that, the worse it got. I thought I was being thorough because it was high stakes, high public profile. Instead, I was completely exhausted, the team frustrated with not having the autonomy or having my respect, so they thought, to do their jobs. That project got off to a really rocky start, and I realized I wasn't leading, I was controlling. And I'd forgotten what I've learned through over 30 years of leading in high risk, high consequence environments like boardrooms and during floods and wildfires. In this video, I'll show you why micromanagement is more toxic than you think and how to escape the trap using 4 key principles from my order to chaos framework. Crisis-tested principles that transformed how I lead teams under extreme pressure. You'll learn how to become a true leader with a high-performing team that actually wants to work for you. Let's change it now. Here's the micromanagement trap. Most leaders think micromanagement shows they care. They're detail-oriented, they're hands-on. It actually shows they don't trust. So if you're micromanaging, if you're detail-oriented, if you're hands-on, here's what that might actually look like day to day. Constant check-ins. The first thing you'll notice is constant check-ins. You're asking for updates every few hours, scheduling daily quick sync meetings that aren't quick, and expecting immediate responses to absolutely every message. I had a CEO client who was scheduling check-ins each day with each direct report. His calendar was packed with 15-minute status updates. His team started actually joking that they spent more time reporting on work than actually doing it. Here's what this creates. Your team stops thinking and stops performing. They become order takers, not problem solvers. They delegate upwards. You will start to solve their problems as far as they're concerned. You're rewriting everything. That's the second sign. You're rewriting their emails, redoing their presentations, checking the font, and fixing their work to match your style exactly. I used to rewrite a lot of project updates that the team sent to interested parties. I told myself I was maintaining quality and consistency. What I was actually doing was sending the message, your thinking isn't good enough. Luckily, those days are behind me now. Those were the younger days. And the result? My team stopped putting effort into their first drafts because they knew I'd change everything anyways. Here's what the research shows. Micromanagement doesn't give people the autonomy and freedom to accomplish what your organization needs them to accomplish. Meanwhile, employees feel like they need to be available 24/7, creating a cycle of mistrust. They have no decision-making power. That's the third sign. Your team can't make any decisions without your approval, even small ones. I worked with a marketing director who had to get approval for social media posts, email subject lines, and even which stock photos to use. That was a client. Her team of 8 people were absolutely throttled and bottlenecked by her availability. When she went on vacation for a week, nothing got done. That's not leadership, that's creating organizational paralysis. The fourth sign is over-explaining tasks. You're giving step-by-step instructions for everything, regardless of the experience and technical expertise of the person that you're talking to. You're explaining not just what to do, but exactly how to do it. This kills innovation. When you over-explain, you're essentially saying, don't think, just execute. Your best folks, the ones who can actually solve the problems that they're getting paid to do, will leave for companies that trust their judgment. So what do we do about this? Well, here's how to break free using 4 key order to chaos principles. One of the principles is called leader's intent. Instead of micromanaging the how, focus on communicating the why and the end state. So what are the success criteria? What does right look like? A micromanager says, send me a draft of that email by 2 p.m. Use the template I sent you. Make sure you include the pricing breakdown and bullet points, 4 of them, and make sure you CC me on all responses. Leader's intent says, hey, our intent is to close the deal by Friday while maintaining our premium positioning. You have full authority to negotiate within our standard parameters, our standard operating procedures. What support do you need from me? I use this with that marketing director I talked about. Instead of approving every single post, we established clear brand guidelines and success metrics. Her team's engagement rates increased 40% in 2 months because they could respond quickly to trends instead of waiting for approval. Now that's agility. Another order to chaos principle is trust but verify. This isn't about blind trust, it's about creating systems that give you visibility without suffocating your team. Instead of constant check-ins, I set up weekly 30-minute one-on-ones, focus on obstacles and support, not status updates. 2 questions. What are you working on? How can I help? I created dashboards on that project that showed progress in real time so I could see results without interrupting any work at any time I wanted. Now, remember that CEO that I started working with the 3 daily check-ins or more? Well, it was more than that actually. We moved to weekly strategic conversations. His team's productivity increased 60%, retention went way up because they could focus on work instead of reporting on the work. Another order to chaos principle is the 80% rule. Get to 80%. Perfect is the enemy of done. Your team's 80% solution implemented quickly often beats your 100% solution delivered late. I stopped rewriting everything from my team, for instance. Instead, I asked myself, is this 80% of what we need? If yes, it went out. And then we acted, we assessed, and then we adjusted. All right, we acted, assessed, and we adjusted after that 80%. So the result, team's confidence skyrocketed. Their first drafts got better because they knew their work would be used. Win, 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 win. And remember to diversify your leadership toolkit. If all you have is a control, if all you have is a hammer, every problem is a nail. It looks like it needs more oversight. So instead of defaulting to, I need to check this, I started asking, what does this person need to succeed? What does right look like for me to move from a command and control to a support role? Sometimes just confidence that I trusted their judgment. Maybe that's all they needed. So here's what happened when I applied these principles consistently, and those that I coach, those team members I supported who were like really frustrated early days in that big 34 mil project, well, they said the change in my leadership style was night and day. The team started bringing me solutions instead of problems. They took ownership over outcomes because they had ownership over their decisions, because I implemented 1-3-1, which is a problem, 3 options, and a recommendation. And personally, I went from working, 70, 80 hours, no joke, to 45 hours while achieving better results because I wasn't the bottleneck anymore. I know what you're thinking, but what if they mess up, Daryl? Here's the truth. They will. They will mess up sometimes. But the cost of occasional mistakes is far less than the cost of killing innovation. And an important question you need to ask yourself is, if they do mess up, how do you react to that? Are you angry? Are you supportive? Are you understanding? Do you show empathy, compassion, those kinds of things? Remember, trust and talent retention, it's going to go through the roof, but you can't have those things. You can't have trust and talent retention if you're micromanaging. And that's why micromanagement is so damaging. This video highlights how to break free from it and step into true leadership, where teams are empowered to think, act, and make decisions together, and act autonomously. The 4 principles we covered: lead with intent, So what does right look like? Trust but verify through some systems. Embrace the 80% rule. And remember to diversify your leadership approach. That's a general principle. If all you have is a hammer, every problem's a nail. Each person on your team is an individual. For any leader facing challenges or dealing with a unique situation, feel free to reach out directly on LinkedIn or Instagram. Just send the word lead along with a brief description of your current situation, and I'll give you the real answer on how to fix it. No BS. If this video brought value to you, don't forget to subscribe for more leadership content. See you in the next one.